عصرت حمشت عدمية تمرعي عصرت حمشت عامت مستمرعه أو جزائي لوليدة تقلع بزيخوني بقري يموتيو بني نورا ولا لدايت وليدو كاو ساعات خلتنا مشات مسوطة كاوزي أيتو همزي أيدو حديرو بزي يموتيو كاوزي همزي أيدو حديرو ساعات خلت الجمرس شكاو ساعات عصرت خلتنا ينوه كاو تقلع بهوتي وطي نقع علي تاريفة ما يفشت الله تسقى مقاتي منه.
Obstetric fistula is a childbirth injury, and it occurs primarily during prolonged obstructed labor. The pressure on the birth canal for so many days causes the tissue to drop out. So it's basically a hole between the bladder and the birth canal.
After the fetus is out, that's when she learns that, there is something wrong because there is incontinence.
هو بزح تصقم نيرو شنتي كان يكايو هذا نخبس بيسقى إخا أتخد لخا تعمي اسم كري أكال إخا لسأل أكا أفنجوز نالا يدخد.
The physical consequences are awful, but then the social consequences are even more severe. They treat her like a modern-day leper.
Time goes by. Weeks turn into months, months turn into years, until she finds a way to get herself to treatment.
ريفرت إلى المقالة سبيتال. زغاغر مسجن حاوية.
Obstetric fistula can be cured by surgery, and there are surgical centers throughout the country. The problem is the lack of awareness. So many of these women that have developed fistula have developed it because of a lack of education and information about safe birth practices. And so we opened our first rehabilitation center here in Tigray. Healing Hands of Joy created the Safe Motherhood Ambassador program to fill that gap in prevention and reproductive health education, and so that women understand why they develop fistula.
Once they're trained as Safe Motherhood Ambassadors, they would go back to their communities. They teach and help people understand that fistula can actually be prevented. And the way it is prevented is for pregnant women to go to prenatal care follow-ups and then give birth at health facilities.
تقاطي من الناي فيستلا تقم لكي الرخوة أو حكمنا ولدا أفت صراحة أمباسادر تبهال تلقو تعمي دسلني معلي للدفافني.
We also provide really essential income generating activities and education about how they can support themselves and their families when they go back home.
لحم جازية صبوا الله أبا نشاطه بدك أيوة مشاطكات.
One woman at a time. It has been a great program.
When I started Healing Hands of Joy in 2010, we opened our first rehabilitation center in Tigray. Now we're operating in the 4 largest regions in Ethiopia.
In these 4 regions, we have been able to train over 3,000 Safe Motherhood Ambassadors and support the safe delivery of over 28,000 babies.
Healing Hands of Joy has been hugely successful, especially here in the Tigray region where we've worked for over 10 years. We had actually reduced the number of cases to such a low number that we started to plan exiting out of the region. And then the Civil War broke out, and now we're starting from scratch. For 2 years, we had no contact with our staff or any of our 700 Safe Motherhood Ambassadors that we had trained.
We shut the center because there is no fuel in the city, no electricity, no water. It was tough, very, very, very tough. People die because lack of medicine. People die because of lack of food. Civilians were killed.
ፀላእ መፂና ከቢድና ደብሬና ሰብ ቆቲልናው ኣብቲ መንደርናስ ሰብ ልሞቱ ነይሮም ጓይና ብዙሕ ቆልዑ ሓዚና ሃምዚና ነተጓይና ጥራሕና ኢና መፂና
In order to survive during the wartime, many people had to flee their villages and hide in caves to protect themselves.
ጭንቀት ይበቃ ለሐልፍ አይመስለና ነይሩ ኣስታት ብግምትስ ሽሕ ሰብ ይኾን ኣው ዝተሰዲዱ እዩ
During the Civil War, health centers were destroyed and looted. Women had no safe place to deliver.
ጭንቀት ይበቃ ለሐልፍ አይመስለና ነይሩ በእምነ ያብልና አይና አትዩናዩ ተላማ አንተ ነራ ማንታ ወሊዳ ማንታ ያተገላጊላ ቶም ማንታ ቶም ቆልዑ ሁልቲኦም ሞይቶም ኣነ ብጣዕሚ ላፍትና የጸገም ንከይጋጥመና ኡንሃለያ ብጣዕሚ ክሰግእ ነራ ኡንሃለኹ
In 2019, when we were exiting out of Tigray, there were less than 50 cases in a year. In 2022, when we returned, there were about 50 cases every month. So we quickly realized that we had to address the need and reopen our rehabilitation center. Gender-based violence was a huge weapon of war in this conflict. Many women were raped by soldiers.
احنا በጋጣሚ በድንገት ያቲውና ጸላት ማለት ይወዝቦታሱ ካብ ገዛ ላው ገዛና መጽዮም ፎሊዮም በቃ ወጣት ላፎሊዮምስ ወሲዶምና ፎሊዮም ካውዝ ህዝብ ማለት ካብ እስኻትን ጋገራገለ ይሎም ይጫወትና hamdሰብ በቃ እቲ የውሉ ዋዳኛ እቲ ምግብ ላሰራህ ካለ በቃ hamdሰ ከመላ ጫወትና ትውለ ቁጽር ማዓልቲ የውሊ hamdስቶም የምላ ጎርና ላሰራህና ለ ሰለስተ ወር ህፃን ይሄዝ ሰዓት በቃ hamdስቶም ላጫወት ስለልና እዘል ማህፀነይ ለሐዲፍ ማለት ፈሳሽ ላፈስኒ
These women are like innocent women, but they are the first victims of the war.
We're able to see that many women have experienced fistula as a result of rape, which we had never seen in years past. Many of our Safe Motherhood ambassadors, many women that we had trained, were taken into camps and were abused.
بديلك أي خوينا همز خوينا نيخم به كوز خلا سس همز لمنتا إلى تسفى أرض نيرة.
We want to really come alongside these women and help them to rebuild their lives. Coming to Healing Hands of Joy and being able to receive trauma and healing counseling, psychiatric care is life-changing for them. It's deeply part of the healing process.
حدث كنبر كله بزح ጸገም ይጋጥምካ ይወዶ ንሶም ክትሓልፊዮም ትኽእል ግን ጥንካሬ ውሽጥ ክትሕዘለክ ዝተኾይኑ حدث እስኽት ተጠቐም ሰብ ይኽዝል እምነት ኣብ ውሽጥ እንትሃልዩ ይኽን ኻሊት
በቃ ጀግና ምዃንኺ ማለት ጎዚ ክስኺ ሰርሕኺ ከም ትልወጢ ከም ትሕዚ ይኣምን ገለ ኢሉ መኸር
These women, you know, they faced the most difficult time in their lives and still find the strength to continue. So there is a lot to learn from these women.
We've had setbacks, but we really see an end goal. We will eliminate obstetric fistula in Ethiopia by 2030, and we believe we can do it. We have an amazing network of 3,000 Safe Motherhood ambassadors, and those women have trained and educated thousands of women.
هذا اللي تشجروا أو جزء مولد ولا هذا ونكون يتعرفوا. إحنا قلنا الناجرين هذا جم في اللقاء مثلنا ما نسيه.
This army of women that are so passionate about not seeing other women suffer from fistula. They are determined to make sure that other women don't go through the same fate.
Never give up. I will never give up.